with Pastor E. This is Pastor Idris Webb coming to you from the beautiful, beautiful state of Massachusetts. It is always a joy and a pleasure to come into your homes. If you're watching us by TV or you're on Facebook, I ask that you share and like so that others know that Pastor E is in the house. So welcome again, and you know, as usual, I have to say a prayer before I start my broadcast. Father, we thank you for this day that you have made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for the conversation that will happen today. We thank you that you are a silent listener, and we thank you that something that's said here would be a blessing to someone. In Jesus' name, amen and amen. Again, welcome to the broadcast. And I have a guest with me this afternoon.
Hi, everyone.
She is smiling away.
I'm so excited.
And that's her. She brings so much light, so much joy into our lives every day. She's my co-worker, and I'm going to give her 2 minutes just to say who she is, who's Anjali, and what she does, and we'll take it from there.
Let's do it. Thank you all for having me, and thank you, Idris. This is so much fun. My name's Anjali, as Miss Webb said. We work together at St. Joseph's in Dorchester. I'm an occupational therapist by trait, and now the director of rehab for the past year. So I oversee physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and help with all of the therapy services within our skilled nursing facility. I got into occupational therapy in a bunch of different ways, actually. My dad's a doctor, so I grew up when we were younger. My dad was going through med school and then was just starting out his residency, and at times they couldn't afford a babysitter, so my dad would bring me to the nursing homes and just drop me off there and go run and see his patients. And some of the nurses that I actually work with now, like Winsome, used to babysit me.
Really?
Isn't that cool? So they used to babysit me when I was young. I remember being 6 years old. My dad brought me one day after a soccer game. I went to a nursing home with him, and there was this tall man with dementia, and my dad just kind of put my hand in his hand and said, "Now go for a walk," because this man went up and down and up and down and up and down the hallways. So I went with this man, and I kind of knew when I was that age that this is the population I wanted to work with. Wow. These are, our elderly patients in America we don't do a great job taking care of, and that has made strides over the years. Especially in skilled nursing facilities. So I went on to go to school and graduate school and became an occupational therapist.
Excellent. And she is a wonderful co-worker. She keeps us laughing. She loves to laugh.
I try.
and her other great love is cake.
That's true. I love cake. And I'm trying. I can see in my face. I need to stop.
She loves cake. I tell you, this is the first time I've met anybody who has such a love for cake.
Frosting.
And
it's
frosting.
So good. It's so good.
The frosted that we all scrape off because we can't do it.
It's
you
so
can
good.
give her all the frosting in the world.
I love it. It's a stress reliever sometimes.
Oh, okay. All right. But we got to get her back on track.
Yes.
She's going to have to not do that anymore.
Yeah. Starting Monday, right?
Starting Monday. Okay. All right. So as you heard, she's my co-worker. Yes. Very, very lovely woman. I also had the privilege of meeting her father some years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And he is lovely. Yes, I did actually meet him at a conference at BI some years ago.
I know that.
And I went up and I introduced myself.
That's so cool.
Yes.
He's a nice guy.
Yes,
I learned a lot from him.
The name ran around in circles for so long, you know what I mean? And when I heard, Dr. Shutt, I was like, okay, I have got to meet him. So I did.
I'm glad you did.
Yes, I did. He's lovely. So you're the product of,
Thank you.
Good people.
Thank you. I've learned a lot from him.
Yeah, excellent. So we are lucky and blessed to have you.
Thank you.
At my place, everybody loves Anjali, as you can tell. So this afternoon we're going to talk about a number of things. Mm-hmm. So as you just mentioned, we don't do such a good job in America taking care of the elderly, but I'm going to divert. Because there has always been a stigma around nursing homes and what nursing homes represent. When people think of a nursing home, we don't call it nursing home anymore. we kind of zhuzh it up a little bit and say nursing facility, nursing center,
rehab,
rehab,
skilled rehab,
you know, but it's still the same thing. But people always think of this as a place where people come to die. Yeah. You know, it's an old people's place. It's for the frail, the elderly, and of course it is. But that's not the only thing we do there. So more and more people are understanding what, you know, nursing facilities represent. Right. Now, so we have younger folks who would go to the hospital. They back at coming to nursing facilities because their idea is where the old people reside. And we should not, you know, be like that.
No. So I've worked in many skilled nursing facilities or rehabs, and there is a population in there that are older people. I don't want to say they're there to die, but they're there probably for the rest of their lives. That's their home. Yeah. And we take care of them. We become their family. We look after them like their family members. But I will say there's also a large population of people that are there for the short-term rehab. They need nursing needs. Maybe they have a wound. Maybe they have some IV antibiotics, and they need some intense nursing care along with some rehab. And that's just short-term. We have very young people. We get them back to their baseline, get them stronger, and get them back home.
Right. And that's what I was saying, you know, because of the stigma, people don't want to come to nursing facilities. Yeah. But tell us, or tell the audience, the benefits of coming to a nursing facility, a place like ours. Yeah, absolutely. You know, after surgery or a fall, or, you know, because even elderly people don't want to come to the nursing home either. It's because tough. Sometimes they feel like this is it. Yeah. And they're going to get there. We'll never let them get out. Right. And we're not in the business of holding people. So what are the benefits of coming to a nursing facility after surgery, after a fall, you know? Yeah. So I will mention our goal is always to get you home. Goal is always to get you home in the safest way possible, and we'll set up as many services as you need, PT or OT in the home, to get you home. One of the main reasons and benefits that I see about going to a skilled nursing facility is just to build up your confidence. So if you have a fall, you had a surgery, you had a wound or anything that's going on with you and you need skilled nursing, coming to us for a little bit, coming to any facility for a couple weeks really rebuilds that confidence that you can be independent again, right? So if you had a fall, how scary is it to go back home and worry about having another fall? Whereas you can go to the skilled nursing facility, get a little stronger, work with rehab, get good connections with your nursing folks, get some services from social services, and really build up your confidence, build up your balance, strength, and get yourself back home in a way where you feel safer. And people like you, the occupational therapists teach people to do the everyday things.
Every day. It's every day. So occupational therapy, we look at what's called ADLs, assisted daily living. And basically that means that anything that you do in the day, we want to get you back there. So on your evaluation, what occupational therapists will ask is, tell me your morning routine. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you have breakfast, or vice versa, you go to the bathroom, you get dressed, you go to work. And those are all things that we want to get you back to. Some people go off to church or go shopping, and these are things that, again, we need to get them back to. So an occupational therapist will look at adapting a morning ADL, like brushing your teeth. Let's say you just broke your hand, and it's really hard for you to close your hand all the way around the toothbrush. We can build up that toothbrush, make it a little bit easier for you to brush your teeth. Or going to the bathroom, if getting on and off the toilet is difficult, there's raised toilet seats and grab bars and different maneuvers that you can do to get on and off the toilet a little easier. And again, I go back to building up your confidence. Right. If you can now do these things by yourself where you couldn't just a few weeks ago because of an injury, now we're going to give you these tools like a raised toilet seat, more strength, more balance, and get you back there.
Right, and some of these things you won't know about unless you come to us. A raised toilet seat, what's that?
Exactly.
Exactly. About you, what's that? So tell me, we do physical therapy and we do occupational therapy. Yes. And we also do speech. Okay, so someone comes in and they had a stroke or whatever, they get the speech therapy, whatever. But tell us a little bit about what the physical therapy
Sure.
entails.
Sure. So physical therapy is looking more at your overall movement and large muscle groups. So while an occupational therapist may get you on and off the toilet and get you to maybe wipe your own bum and clean yourself up, a physical therapist actually will get you there. So they'll get you out of bed, walk you to the bathroom, work on your balance, work on your tolerance standing, work on your safety getting to and from the bathroom. And of course, occupational therapists will be there to help. And we can give some guidance, like maybe taking rest breaks on your walk to the bathroom or using an assistive device like a walker, a rollator. And then once the occupational therapist gets you to the bathroom, we focus more on the actual toiling task. Whereas physical therapy looks, at least the physical therapy in a nursing home, will look more at your actual walking and movement and the quality of your gait, and decreasing your risk of falls and all of your balance.
Awesome. And you also have in your arsenal the speech therapy, which a whole lot of people don't need.
Yeah.
But when do they need that?
Sure. So I would say in our facility, it's about 50-50 of patients needing speech therapy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we have a good amount on caseload. We have 2 full-time speech therapists right now, and both of them, their caseloads are full.
Oh, wow.
Majority of the patients, I will say, are the long-term care patients, the ones that we are in their home.
Okay.
This is their home.
This is home.
Those are the patients that we will help with their cognition. If they've had a cognition decline or if they're not swallowing as well, we'll change their diet. But we do have a good amount of short-term residents, so the patients that came because they just fell, or your example of just having a stroke. Speech therapists will work with them on their language, receptive and expressive, so being able to speak what they want and understand what's being said to them. Their cognition, swallow. You know, we have some patients that were eating wings on one day, and the next day they unfortunately had a stroke, and now they're on a puree diet. No one wants puree unless it's mashed potatoes. I'll do it if it's mashed potatoes.
Can somebody just have mashed potato alone?
I would survive. But speech therapists will work to get them back on their regular diet. And again, I'm going to go back to building your confidence. If you're eating what you want, you can go to that birthday party when you go out and not have to worry about asking for a puree diet. Right? You can eat whatever they want.
Everybody can be grinding up that food.
That builds up your confidence, and that's the point of going to a nursing facility, getting stronger, building your balance, eating what you want, speaking what you want to say, and getting yourself back home.
Awesome. So this lady here, she runs a tight ship at our establishment, and you know, at our place, you know, we're blessed to have therapy 7 days a week.
We do, yep.
Most places, it's 5 days a week.
Correct.
So if the patient's schedule falls on Saturday and Sunday, there's always somebody in your gym, as you call it. And we really treasure you guys because we have seen, you know, tremendous recovery. People who have come in, couldn't walk, come in on a gurney, and go back out walking with a walker.
Doing 40 flights, 40 stairs, 4 flights of stairs.
So, I mean, you guys do an awesome job. And
thank you.
You guys are pivotal to what we do. I mean, the nurses couldn't do what you do. You know what I mean?
And we work hand in hand because we can't get these patients up into the gym if their wound isn't wrapped or their pain meds aren't given or the IV antibiotic isn't done. So we all kind of work in tandem. And our goal for everyone is to get them home, get them safely home, and get them stronger and feeling better about themselves.
So don't worry, if you have an elderly person and they come to us, we won't hold on to them. The goal is to get them back home to their previous living, you know, to their previous life. You know, we want people to go home and be happy.
Absolutely.
Because part of it too is that nobody wants to be in a nursing facility.
No. So there's this new theory called aging in place.
Aging in place,
and it's a new kind of medical treatment that people are choosing that route to do it. And aging in place is fantastic. You can go home, stay at home, but it's difficult for many. People have, especially in the Boston area, 4 flights of stairs to walk up. They have tiny, narrow hallways where they can't get a wheelchair in. They have small bathrooms that maybe it's tough for them to get on and off the toilet. So coming to a rehab first, we can get you all those things to get you home where you can age in place. You can stay there for as long as you need And then St. Joe's or any other facility is there to help you get you stronger
Right.
again.
And some of these, the insurances allow for, some help.
Yeah,
It may
some
not
services.
be ideal, maybe, but a couple of hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and speaking of the services, they have stuff like Meals on Wheels, and Meals on Wheels does Puree Diet. So again, isn't that cool? I just learned that too recently. So again, we don't want to send someone home on puree, but if they don't make that goal and they don't meet it, there's services that can bring you those puree meals.
Yes.
There's housekeepers, there's home PT and OT, everything.
And I don't know if you know this, but we have kind of teamed up from admissions, teamed up with Meals on Wheels. So I make little care packages with hand sanitizers.
That's cool.
And napkins, Kleenex, and puzzle books and all that stuff. And every couple of months we drop off like maybe 2 boxes.
Wow.
And they said these elderly people, they love this because they could do their word puzzle. And, it's just a little something that makes them happy.
Right.
Because they're getting a nice little
Right.
satchel with all these little goodies, and so every couple of months I put these together, and it's amazing.
I like
so
that.
when they drop off the meal, they drop the little packages off.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to taking care of our elderly.
Yes.
I like it. We should be.
Yes, because they're home alone.
Right.
I mean, I was sick a few weeks ago, and just being home because people have gone out to work. My husband is at work. My daughter is out, and you feel trapped.
You do.
You know what I mean? You're like in this house, and it's like, oh my gosh, can I
Give me a puzzle book, please.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So anyway, let's move on to another topic. And I got some statistics, girl.
Okay.
And this is on falls.
Okay, I love it.
So the CDC came out with this, that 1 in 4 adults over 65 reports falling every year, which amounts to 36 million falls per year. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Okay. And common places where people fall, believe it or not, is stairs, bathroom, the living room, and in the garden. So 13% are injured in the bathroom, 31% tumble in the living room, and 23% slip in the garden. And, when we think about it, what's alarming is that 60% of the falls happens at home.
Right.
30% in public places,
Right.
and 10% with us
Right.
in nursing facilities. Tell us from your experience, because you've seen, in your career, you must have seen gazillion people that come to us or other places with falls. What happens at home?
Absolutely.
And what advice do you have for people at home?
Yeah.
60%.
So it's a great question. Falls are probably our #1 culprit of admissions. We have so many people that go to the hospital after a fall, and unfortunately a lot of those falls that you just gave us end in a serious injury. Hip fracture, broken wrist, anything, it can end in a serious injury. Or your confidence again is just shot. You just had a terrible fall. You don't feel confident anymore. You lost your balance. So for the most part, what we recommend as therapists is safety in the home. So you need to make sure you are decluttering. You want to have a safe path from your bedroom to the bathroom to the kitchen. We've seen a lot of homes that have a lot of clutter, for lack of better words, everywhere. Kind of clogging up the space, right? You trip, your walker gets caught on the corner of a box and you tumble.
Yes.
And in that same breath, I know my grandmother, she's 90, she just turned 90.
Wow.
She loves area rugs. Little rugs everywhere. And I know my generation is more hardwood floors.
Yes.
So it's a generational thing. It'll come and go.
Yes.
But area rugs everywhere her home, and her feet trip on the corner of the rugs all the time. So that's one of the biggest culprits as well. Get rid of those area rugs or lay them flat.
Get rid of the carpets, people. Get them out of your grandmother and your mother's home.
They're dangerous.
Although
they really
I have
carpet. They are dangerous.
Yes.
You trip right over them. Some of them don't have the skid underneath, so they slide. So it can be dangerous. Another thing that we also recommend is Life Alert too, especially if you've had a couple falls. Life Alert is a simple thing that you can get in, and that helps to build up your confidence again, make you feel safe. Being at home safely So you're alone, but you're not really alone because you have Life Alert.
Right.
So that's kind of helpful. I want to touch on the garden. So we actually just had a patient, adorable. I'll tell you her name. I'll tell you her name after
No,
this.
yeah. We can't tell you the name. No. HIPAA regulations.
She was amazing. Her two goals were to feed her cat and to do her veggies out in the garden. Those were her two goals for us. She didn't really care so much about getting to and from the bathroom.
Right.
We worked on that. She did great. She gained her balance. So for feeding her cat, we were able to build up a utensil for her that she didn't have to bend all the way down to get the food. It was a high, long shovel that she could just get to and shovel out the food and bring it to the cat.
My goodness.
For the garden, we found her this box. It was just on Amazon. It was like probably $40, where she sits on a high stool, and the stool can roll down the garden, roll back and forth to get to the garden. She was bending over, her back was hurting, she was getting short of breath, she was falling down. This is a way to conserve energy. Sit on this box, do your gardening, wheel to the next little area, do your gardening, wheel to the next area, and continue. And this, we spoke to her recently, and she was so happy.
And you can get anything on Amazon.
Anything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, anything.
And you guys are creative.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if you come to us, we can kind of work together, work on compensatory strategies, and find these awesome tools that you can use and get you home.
Because not every place does that.
Yeah.
But I told you we got an awesome team here. I mean, they put heads together and they do the magic.
We're lucky.
And get these people home.
We're a good fun team too.
Yeah, I know.
We make exercise fun.
There's always laughter. There's always food. There's always all kinds of things going on in the gym. And that boosts the confidence of the patients.
Yeah.
I mean, a happy place. I mean, makes them happy.
Absolutely.
Because they're in pain.
Yeah.
They're not doing well.
Yeah.
And to hear somebody not just watching somebody grilling them, do this, do that, or the other, but and I see how you guys work with these people like they're your grandparents,
family.
Like
that's our goal.
But I'm not coming there. Thank you very much, Molly.
You don't want to come live with me?
No. The other thing too, thank God we don't have the telephones with those long cords anymore.
I know. Yeah. So
because
telephone cords.
That was one of the things that people would trip over all the time at home.
Yeah.
Thank God for mobile phones. You can actually walk with them and they can't trip you.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we also recommend, speaking about the mobile phones, is saying, "Hey Siri," and I'm going to have to touch my phone. There we go. Because it alerts when you say, "Hey Siri," call 911 if you have to. You can set your phone to have emergency contacts.
Oh, wow.
So for me, I would say, "Hey Siri, call Matthew, my husband," and your phone picks it right up.
Okay, you got to teach me.
I will. I will. And it's a good thing to have.
That's a good thing.
God forbid you're on the floor and your phone's over there. You can scream at your phone. And I would say 75% of the chance, if not more, it will pick up on you and it will call for help.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you let these patients know that too as
well?
Oh,
yeah. We've taught them that. We've taught them how to use Amazon Alexas. Those can connect to phones as well. So if you are on the floor or you need a little help, you can scream to Alexa. And Alexa can help you to get some more help.
And this lifeline is awesome too. But you have to pay for that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but good old Siri and Alexa.
Siri's free, so if you have an iPhone, please, I recommend it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
So that's good. That I can call my emergency contact. So talking about falls, you didn't know this. So I had COVID-19 just a couple of weeks ago. So when I contracted it the first time, my legs gave out.
Oh.
This time, even without thinking that I had COVID, because I was thinking, it's a bad cold. They're saying, you're dehydrated, blah, 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 blah. So I got up Tuesday morning and I couldn't walk. My legs were like...
weak, felt heavy.
Not heavy, they were just giving out.
Oh.
I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I'm like thinking, oh my goodness, am I getting to a wheelchair now? I can't.
No.
So on Wednesday now, my husband had to get me up the stairs to go to the bathroom. I couldn't balance myself. Yeah. So Wednesday morning I got up because I stayed in the couch because I wasn't feeling good and I was coughing and I didn't want to disturb him, so I stayed in the couch. So on Wednesday morning I got up and I felt like, okay, I could do this. So I walked across the hall started going up the flight of stairs, what happened?
No, did you fall?
Yes.
No.
My legs buckled and I fell back. Wow, what a commotion in the house that morning. Because my husband was like, he was upset. He's like, why didn't you call me? I said, well, I thought I could go.
It's scary though.
But it's so scary because I punched a hole in the wall.
Oh.
I don't know what hit the wall, but thank God I didn't hit my head.
Yeah, you felt
I
okay.
could have broken my back.
Absolutely.
I could have broken my hip.
Yeah.
And then, I would have to come to...
Hang out with me.
So
there are worse things than hanging out with me, though.
I know. But that's part of it, too, is that we have to remember to ask for help.
Absolutely.
And I think, and I see it with elderly people, too. You don't want to bother people, so you're trying to do everything for yourself. Like me that morning.
Right.
I was like, I could get up the stairs. Boom.
Yeah. And you can get seriously injured that way. You're very lucky.
Oh, my God.
Especially on the stairs. Stairs are the worst.
It was awful. Because when I look at it, every time I walk by the spot, I said, thank you, God. Because I could have broken my neck. I could have hit my... Because it's a very narrow passageway.
An easy concussion for you if you just banged your head.
Oh, my gosh.
That's scary.
I'm just like... So I was telling a friend of mine, she said, your work here is not done. God wasn't ready for you. I should have actually banged my head. I don't know, to this day, I don't know what hit the wall. I think it was my elbow.
Yeah.
But see,
you're
that's
lucky.
how falls happen. But I'm older too, so.
We've seen a lot of patients post-COVID that are falling. Their body is weaker now. Like, if you think about all the energy it takes to heal your body from something like COVID or something like a UTI, falls are rampant because of that, because your body's trying to recover from one thing and then it's just feeling weaker, your legs give out, energy.
But my legs start giving out at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's, and I'm just like, what is
But keep in mind, your body already was fighting the infections probably 2-3 days before you even knew you had the infection, before you even started to feel sick.
Right.
So it's a lot to regain all that strength.
Oh my goodness. Maybe I should have come.
And you are getting older.
Gee, thanks for reminding me. I'm at retirement age. I'm just hanging out with you guys for just a few more months.
Anytime.
And then I'm gone. I'm gone. So, what would you say to somebody who's listening today, who has an elderly person at home? How important it is to be checking in, because some of these folks live alone.
Right.
They have, they choose to.
Right.
Because some elderly people do not want to give up their independence. So what would you say to families out there? How do you manage these people living at home, and what do you do? How do you need to deal with them?
Yeah.
Just to keep them safe?
Oh, it's an excellent question. And I think that's important. If they want to live at home, if these elderly people, they could be 100 years old, want to live at home, let's keep them at home as long as they're safe.
Yes.
So you have to do a checklist of how can we keep them safe. Are there family members that can go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Someone else goes Tuesday and Thursday, even just 2 hours.
Yes.
We've had a couple cases where patients are on the floor for 2 or 3 days, and serious injury occurs because of that. And most of those patients don't have family. So I think we're speaking to lucky people that do have lovely family members that can check on them. So, safety is a key thing. If they're living at home, safety, who can come and check on them? How can you get them more services? Can you help them to get a housekeeper? Can you get home physical therapy or occupational therapy? And it's also an important thing to look at the assisted devices that they have. Are they using a walker? Are they using it appropriately? Do they have a raised toilet seat? Do they have grab bars? Could they benefit from a seat in the bathroom, like with a shower chair or a tub bench? Anything to help reduce the risk of falls, increase your confidence again, and make sure that you live at home for as long as you want, as independently as you can.
And it needs encouragement to these elderly people too, because I can tell you a story of my mom. When she was getting older, you could see that she's not as steady on her feet anymore, but resisted us getting her a cane.
Right.
She did not want, I think I'm going to be the same way for you, doctor. She resisted and she fought us.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want a cane. I said, but it would help you.
Yeah.
It would help with your balance.
Absolutely.
Because you could tell, you've lived with your mom, so you know that she's getting older. She's not the same person.
It's sad to watch. It's sad to watch your loved ones get older. Yeah.
Yes. So we're trying to help you here. We're not trying to make you look old.
Right.
We're trying to help you. Oh, so we had to buy her a cane, a fancy cane.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, my
Bedazzle it a little bit. Yeah, I love it. Why not?
The bedazzle
It's
one,
perfect.
Because she did not, and she told us, I don't want those wooden canes.
Yeah.
And
Make
so
it
we
fancy.
had to get her Walgreens, and
Yeah.
I think we got one from Walgreens. They said the fancy one, and she was fine.
Yeah.
She actually decided, okay, I'll use this one.
Yeah.
So for some people, you got to,
Work with them.
work with them.
Yeah, my grandmother has a bright pink walker, and she loves it. She hated anything before, hated canes, walkers. Beautiful bright pink walker with a basket.
Yes.
She puts anything she needs in it,
Yes.
and it works.
Yes.
But I think we need to change the narrative that having a cane or a walker means you're old. It doesn't. It just means you need a little bit extra help.
That's why they're
Yeah.
resistant to using it,
Yeah.
because they think, okay, I'm old. I would think the same way. I'm old.
It's just a little extra help.
Yeah.
Your body has gone through, if you think about it, someone who's 12 that breaks their legs, you're going to give them, or breaks a leg, you're going to give them crutches.
Yes.
Or a cane if they need
Absolutely.
anything.
Absolutely.
And we don't look at that 12-year-old like you're old.
Right.
They just need a little extra help right now.
Right.
So that's the way we have to think of a
Right.
60, 70, 80-year-old
Right.
using a cane or a walker. Their body's been through a lot. They just need a little extra help right now.
It's just a stigma.
It is. It makes my job tougher, though.
But thank God we got you. So
Yeah.
when they come to us, you educate
We work our
them
magic.
and you work your magic, and they're happy. They're
Yeah.
going home happy. So what do you say to somebody who their family are just way too busy?
Mm-hmm.
Because I once worked with a lady who was she was in her 80s, and I said to her, and she was coming to work earlier than I did in the mornings. I mean, she was always there, not feeling well on some days, but she was pushing herself.
Yeah.
And one day I said to her, why do you come to work? Because she was like almost 85.
Wow.
I said, Barbara, why are you working? And she said, well, you don't get it. She said, when you become my age, all of your friends are dead. And I come here because I can see you guys every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if something happens to me, because she was living alone, if something happens to me, you guys are here.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I walked her down to the emergency room at Beth Israel.
Wow.
Yeah. And then when they're done with her, they would call me to come get her.
That's sweet,
And
though.
she comes back to work.
She has a caring friend. That's good.
She would always call me, like, please, Idris, I need to go down to the emergency room. I would walk her down, and when she's done,
Bring her back.
and yes, and it was true because there were 3 other ladies working at the hospital, older ladies too, and every Saturday, the 4 of them would drive out to Concord.
Yeah.
They would go to Appleseed, that store for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
elderly people. They'd buy their clothes and they go out to lunch. That was their every Saturday routine. And I watched all 3 women, they died. And so she was left alone.
Right.
And so she was too afraid to be at home because she's like, if anything happens to me, there's nobody there.
Right.
So what do you say to somebody who has an elderly person at home, still living their lives, but you're too busy? Everybody's too busy.
Everyone's busy.
Right. So you don't have, how do you get through to these folks that it's time? It's either assisted living
Right.
or, nursing facility, which they don't want to hear about
Right.
anyway. But easing them into assisted living, or how do you approach that?
So I do think easing them into it, a great way is to first come to our facility for a few weeks and get stronger, build up your balance, and then go back home, honestly.
Yeah.
I highly recommend going back home, and if you fail, we are always there for you.
Yeah.
Come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like easing them to a nursing home that way, because you're there for 2-3 weeks. You meet the nurses, you meet the rehab team, you kind of get the flow of
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah.
And then you go home and you realize this isn't for me. I can't do it. My family can't help me. I just had another fall on top of the other fall I had last month. Time to go into assisted living, nursing facility.
Yeah.
And then you kind of come to terms with it slowly.
Yeah.
It's not a decision that's easy.
No.
You're giving up your home. You
Right.
know, moving from one home to another is difficult enough. But now you're moving into a home that's smaller with all new people, and it's tough.
And you most times you have a roommate.
Yeah.
And you have a little space for all your stuff.
Oh yeah, and you can hear the call bells going off. It's definitely a different environment, but the key is it a safer environment?
Yes, yes. And thank God, you know, there are people who are caring and who takes care of these folks. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like, and I always say to families too, because I've been in healthcare, for, you know, nursing facility for a long time. And I always say, when you place your loved one in the nursing home, just don't disappear.
Right.
You have to be a presence.
Absolutely.
You have to visit. You have to, because the nurses, the aides, everybody gets used to the fact that you're coming.
Right.
They don't know when you're
They
coming.
know someone's coming to check.
You know what I mean? And they are going to take, your relatives would get the best, not that, you know, everybody doesn't get care, but people see that, you know,
Right.
you have somebody who's coming in and,
Right.
you know, and so you're going to be well taken care of.
And this changed a little bit during COVID. So when we had the COVID, which we're still here, but in the height of COVID, we had probably a year of no visitors.
Right. Oh.
It was tough. We watched people decline because they didn't have their family coming in, reminding them to go take their Sunday shower, making sure that they were eating.
Right.
And nurses in rehab can only do so much.
Yes.
We're there 24/7, but family really gives the extra push and pull to, you know, help their family members.
Yeah.
No one loves you like your own daughter or your mother.
Right.
However, I will say we love to treat every patient like our own family members.
Yes, you guys really do. I mean, I kudos to you guys. I couldn't do what you do. I couldn't do what the nurses do. I couldn't do what the aides do. You know, I do my little part, you know.
It can be tiring. Imagine 15 aunts and uncles calling you for help. All the time, all day long. It's fine. We'll
and
help.
especially for you, you're OT.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, okay, what do I do here? What do I do? How do I do this? Where do I get this device? How do I get on Amazon?
It's so true. It's so. We're helping people to learn how to text sometimes.
Yeah.
Why not?
You guys do a wonderful job. So, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
So
thank you.
Wonderful having you.
This was awesome.
Any parting words for anybody?
No, but thank you guys so much for having me. If you ever want to connect to St. Joe's Rehab, go through Pastor E and to me.
All right. And you will get the best care ever.
Yes.
Yes, because that's what we provide. So, we have come to the end of Moments with Pastor E. Thank you guys for joining us. And I know you've gotten some educational tidbits here from my good friend here, Miss Anjali Bayliss.
That's right.
Yeah, she's now a married woman. When I met you, were Anjali Shot.
That's right.
Now she's Mrs. Bayliss. Beautiful husband, lovely family. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
This was a lot of fun.
It was a pleasure. So until next Saturday at 3 o'clock, this is Pastor E saying, may the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. I love you. God bless.